It says "Ukshartem leis al yodcho." Doesn't say which hand it is, but we know it is the left hand. How do we know it's the left hand? So there is two limudim that are brought in Shulchan Aruch with an nafkamina la'alocha between the two limudim, and we'll see how we paskin, how the Alter Rebbe paskins, and how the Tzemach Tzedek paskins, and how we are neheg. One is, we all know, it says al yodcho with the chof hey, so it's yad keho. So you put it on the weak hand. The weak hand is the left hand, because you do all the hard things with the right hand, and the left hand is the weak hand, so we're putting it on the left hand. The second limud is V'samtem es dvorai eile al levavchem, on the heart. So we want to put it close to the heart. So it's the left hand, because the heart is on the left side. So there is two limudim. What is the difference between the two limudim? According to Yad Keho, it's the weaker hand. I'm sorry. Then there is another limud. That says, Ukshartem, Uchsavtem. After Ukshartem, it says Uchsavtem. Uchsavtem means the mezuzah. But it says it's together. So it's Ukshartem, Uchsavtem. On which hand are we supposed to put the tefillin? The one that we are riding with, that the hand that puts on the tefillin, Ukshartem. Since we write with the right hand, we put the tefillin on the left hand. That's the two limudim.
Not alle afgaan.
There is.
The negative left is also says.
And I'll speak. I mentioned that I'll speak soon about alle afgaan. What is the difference if we learn it out from what it says Yodcho, the weak hand, or Uchsavtem, Ukshartem, the hand that we write with, the hand that we put it on. The different by iter. There is two kinds of iters. According to Yodcho, you have to put it on the hand that doesn't do all the malachas. If you do all the malachas with the right hand, then you put it on the left hand. If you do all the malachas with the left hand is the stronger one, you put it on your right hand. But ukshartem, sometimes your strong hand is the left hand, but you're riding with the right hand. So if we learn it out from ukshartem, uchsavtem, so since I write with the right hand, I have to put the tefillin on the left hand, even though the left hand is stronger and all the melachas you do with the left hand. So it's two limudim. So the machlek is in poskim, which one is the main one? They're both.
So you're saying the only nafkamina is someone who's not a regular lefty?
Yes. He's riding with the right hand and he's doing all the melachas with the left hand. Sure, why not?
And
that's the machlekes of the Tzemach Tzedek Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe brings first the limud of Yodcho, but then he brings Ukshartem Uchsavtem. So he says in Simech of Zayin, Sif Tes, Iter Yad Yeminei, Im Eise Kol Melachti Bismeilei, Yaniach Tfilin Shel Yad Bismeilei. Shu Yemin Kol Odom, should put on his smail, which is Yemin. Afilu Eise Kol Maisav Biyemin Shel Kol Odom, Ela Shekoisev Bismeilei, Yaniach Tfilin Shel Yad Bismeilei. שימין כל אדם, because he's riding with the left hand. שנאמר וקשרתם וכספתם. מה כסיבה בימין, אף קשירה בימין. אם כסף בימין של כל אדם, אף על פי של שאר כל מייסף עשב ישמעאל, של כל אדם צריך לקשר את התפילין של יד על יד שכנגדו. The Tzemach Tzedek says in the Tshuvas, so we have to limudim. So why does he decide that it goes according to what you write? So therefore the Tzemach Tzedek says it's a sofek, and therefore whoever does all the melachos with the left hand and is writing with the right hand, he should put 2 pairs of tefillin, one on the left hand and one on the right hand.
What about the other way around?
One on the right hand. He says also the Alter Rebbe says you go according to what you write. If you write with the left, you should put on the right. And the Tzemach Tzedek says it's a sofek. Tzemach Tzedek is in poskim.
So if you write with the left hand and do everything else with your right hand, do both.
The Alter Rebbe says that you go only according to what you're writing. So and then there was a whole controversial between Rabbonim of Chabad from all over in the early years of the Rebbe's Nesias. How should we do? And the Maskona is that they all decided that we do all the years, we do like the Alter Rebbe. So everything is according to what you write. If you write with the right hand,
how did the question come up? I mean, it wasn't like
because there was someone did put. Nusigar is not the only one. The Arav Ashkenazi in Chabad used to put two both because they were machmir for the Tzemach Tzedek.
What did they do for the Rebbe?
what did they do generation after generation? What did they do from
That's what the discussion was.
Nobody knew what he did.
How did it? The previous generation, Yener decided for himself. If he's machmir like the Tzemach Tzedek, or here is he lying on the Alter Rebbe. The decision is there are single ones that did both, but usually you're going according to the Alter Rebbe.
Why if someone writes with 2 hands and just puts, like Rav, and if someone...
Because 2 hands is like the right hand. No, it's not suffolk. If you do everything and you write with both hands, you put on the left hand. Because you do both, so the right is first, like everyone. If you are different, don't both, you do only right with the right, or only right with the left, then the Alter Rebbe says you're going according to what you write.
And do we know that the Tzemach Tzedek wrote that piece of Kevinim?
It's a tshuva, it's probably K'shavet Kedesh, and there's no question.
Tzemach Tzedek maybe didn't see that Alter Rebbe because it's
No.
quote Alter Rebbe in that tshuva?
I think he does, and he's questioning it, and he says, you should do the other way, but the Rabbonim said that we are neig to do it like the Alter Rebbe.
What's the klal in the psak when the Megillah and other things we pass on to
The difference between Megillah and others is because by the Megillah he said to his Kehillah, stop and do like this. So since he was manig lepeil, so we accept it. But usually when there is a machlekes, there is not a klal. Here, the Rabbonim, there was 10 Rabbonim took part in this discussion in the early youths, and they all decided that we're going to Alter Rebbe, or what they heard from the previous generations, or what they felt.
Halacha Basroy doesn't apply here?
That's what the question was, and that's what the decision was. So we're doing according to.
So are there still people that do both, or is that?
There are very rare that people do both. I mentioned Ashkenazi did both.
Well, what was the story that Bnussi Gohai, then the Shmuel went into the Rebbe, came out and told him what to do? Is that true?
I don't know.
Okay, that's what I know.
What did he tell him to do?
I don't remember now what he told him. But I think he does.
So that's that. What kind of story is that?
Yeah, I know.
We can ask him.
It's in the Sefer. There's a Sefer Ita Yad, and it has all the Holy Shtad sources.
Actually, you don't say you don't know, just wake up.
He's afraid tomorrow he'll take a look in the book and he'll see it's not. So we put the tefillin on the left hand. Al yodecho. But al yodecho doesn't mean here. It could be here. So why don't we put the tefillin here? So there is also two limudim. And there is also an afkemina between the two limudim. What is the two limudim? One is what I mentioned before. It says, "Samtem es dvor ha'ele al levavchem ukshartem." So you have to put it near the heart, which means that it has to be here on the kiberes, not on the bottom. That's one limud. Second limud, it says ukshartem leis al yodecho. This is called hand. This is called zroya and kiboires. Al yodecha means in top. So we have two limudim. What is the difference between the two limudim? For someone that his hand was cut off, he has only a zroya. So according to the limud that you have, sometimes so he has to put the tefillin here, facing the heart. But according to the limud of al yodecho, he doesn't have a hand, so it can't be al yodecho, so he doesn't have to put on tefillin.
Well, wouldn't it move to the other hand because it became a...
No, he said yodcho,
But it became a dominant hand.
but yodcho means the left,
Right.
and it doesn't have the hand, so he doesn't have to put.
What about someone has a cast which is covering the hand?
Cast is nothing. It's not a. It's not a.
Kanye, we know from the Kabbalah where it goes. Not
I don't know. That's these halachas are in the Shulchan Aruch itself.
I don't know, or Kabbalah. I think that's used.
Because he has his hand cut off.
As we see in Siman Chov Zayin, Tziv Gimel, Mi shenikto yodi asmolis lamato min hakiberes, yesh eimrim dechayv loniach tefillin shel yad al hakiberes. Because we know only it has to be on the kiberes near the heart. Veyesh eimrim ki misheomro tero al yodecho al yodcho lamayla min hayad. דהיינו כברס, וזה אין ליד, לא חינוך פוטר מן התפיל של יד. ולעניין הלוכה, יש להחמיר בדבתרה, ולכך יניח בלי ברוכה.
And you make a bracha on a shalosh?
Yes.
But when it says al yodecha, it's not the. It's telling you that you have to have a zroya, and on top of the zroya is where the tefillin goes, or it's just giving you a siman, a word.
That's what the machlekes is. If it's only a siman, that's the heroi. So you have to put it al yodecha. So if you don't have a hand, you don't have to.
If there's a suffix, if it's a siman, so then you have two suffixes. Are you saying it because al avavecha, or are you saying it al yodecha? And if not al yodecha, maybe it's a siman, and maybe it's a mechuyz.
I don't know, but the pale is the machlekes on poskim. Now the Rebbe sagt besofik, put on tefillin in top, don't say a broch.
And how are these dinim b'diavad? For putting on someone's tefillin and and it's up, down.
Up, down, let's...
Right, you see some people put on tefillin, they know how to put on tefillin. And the tefillin's all over the place.
So...
It's on the kibbutz.
So on the kibbutz. The kibbutz means what it sticks out, the muscle.
So if it's up and not all about
If it's all the way in the bottom, it's not good. If it's all the way in the top, it's not good. It has to be on the kibbutz. Kibbutz has a size.
But what happens if it slips?
It's
facing up. It's not all about.
We didn't say yet that it shouldn't face. We're going step by step. On the kibbutz, it says in Gemara that you could put two pairs of film if it's small film. So it means it's not a specific space. It has to be on the kibbutz, but there could be two, one in the top, one in the bottom. Ours, we can't have two because we have big film. There is no space on the kibbutz to have two. So you put only one. And even a small child that has a small hand and his tefillin goes all the way, it doesn't matter, it's on the keberes. Some go around and say that since it has to be on the keberes, not on the bottom, so you can't have big tefillin because part of it goes on the bottom. It doesn't say that. It says that it has to be a keberes. And that's what the Alter Rebbe says. And it could be even 2 pairs of tefillin on the keberes. So it doesn't have to be, but it has to be on the keberes.
I just had a question back to what we said before. One of the limudim is ukshaltom, that you have to use this hand to tie on that hand.
Yes.
We go with time. Sometimes you can teach people to put on tefillin.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier if you just do it for them.
Yeah.
Is that leikuva?
No,
They should
you
use their hand
do
to put it on?
bishlichus. You do it bishlichus of him. So
But
it
he's
doesn't
not
matter.
using this hand to put it on that hand. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but that's the hand. And then you're doing bishlichus.
What happens if someone's paralyzed?
The IDF actually just invented the machine.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they've invented. I
What
said.
if he doesn't have that hand? Then maybe that will work. If he's not, is he missing the
Right hand?
Then maybe he should be putting on this.
Doesn't say. There's not such a thing. Mishchal Aruch.
Why isn't Alavavchem also a limit for Iter?
When you decide.
Why Alavavchem, so Iter should also put on next to the heart?
I don't know. But it doesn't say that. I'm just saying.
Not tshuva. It should be no wrong. Is it should be no wrong again?
No.
David Misharim.
Yeah.
Somebody asked Misharim the tshuva that he has a son. The heart they found is on the right side. He was born like that.
There is few.
So he wants to know if he should put Alavavech on the right hand. Sagt noch Bereich von Italiat. Sagt was nicht machen.
Yeah.
Does
Since
the tefillin shel yad be larger than what we have?
why not?
You're saying that as long as some of it's on the kibbutz,
Yes.
even if it's okay.
Sure. Since the limud is that it has to be on keberes because sometimes Alavavchem, therefore the tefillin is not supposed to stick out here, it's supposed to stick out into the bottom.
Is that leikuva?
People, you see some people are not exactly the question if you should go them to tell them. If you could tell them, yes. I don't know. It doesn't say if it's how much it's leikuva. It just say that that's how it has to be done. But it has details in it. It has to be to the side of the heart. But between that tefillin and the heart, there's supposed to be something else, which is the yud. The yud is also not bechutz. It has to be mibifnim. The yud has to be to your heart. So the yud is between your tefillin and the heart.
What?
The kesher.
The kesher of the yud.
And by the other.
Therefore, there's a difference between a lefty and a handy that he has to make the kesher different because every time it has to be to the side of the heart.
Is that the way it's facing
where is
or
that?
actually on the?
Where do we learn this from?
It is between. You could do the kesher on the other side, but that's not good. It has to be from this
Where do we learn
side
that from?
between the.
Yeah, it's very good.
Where did the other Kreisen do? They do it wrong.
They all do it like that. They turning here, they turning there, but the kesher is always on the inside because this is a din in Shulchan Aruch. As we see in Sif Dalet, take a look in Sif Dalet. Minhag, I don't know how much it is a din. Minhag yofe v'nochen sheyehei hayud shel hakesher tefilin shel yad neitel letzad halev והתפילין של יד עולב לצד חוץ.
When you have to flip your tefillin, which is better, that the kesher
Yes.
on the right side, or that it,
Then usually you have to change the kesher.
you use
Yes.
The seder of the
Just to clarify, because I'm left-handed, whenever I give my son my phone, I put on, so it always flops, and I say, it's okay, it's makush, it's tight enough, it's fine,
Yeah, but
it has to be that way.
It if you change the hand, it's outside of the.
Flip it upside down.
Upside
I put the tefillin on upside down,
Okay.
the kesher's on the right side, and
Okay.
but then it's loose, because the knot
Yes.
is
Yes.
loose.
Yes. Yes.
But that's fine.
We'll get to the three times that you tie it. We'll get soon to it. But there is another.
I think the Rebbe was asking, when you're using a right tefillin for a left.
So he said he puts the tefillin up and the kesher at the bottom.
You could just hold. Is that okay? That's what I'm saying.
That it doesn't say not to, but usually you don't do it like that.
I know.
Then there is one more detail. That the yud has to be to the side of the tefillin and has to touch the tefillin. Therefore, usually, in order it shouldn't crack, we have a cover on the tefillin shel yad. The cover of the tefillin shel yad had a cut. The reason for the cut is because it says in the Zohar, the yud should not be separated of the tefillin. It has to touch the tefillin all the time. And this is not only for mivtzoim. Everyone has to know for himself that the yud has to be to the side of the heart and has to be cut and touching the tefillin. The Rebbe wrote in somebody asked the Rebbe, do we really need the cover and the cut? So he answered, the cover is it shouldn't knock anywhere. But I might feel I have the cut because it says in the Zohar it has to touch the tefillin. My shver's tefillin don't have the cut. So that means that when he davened, he didn't have the cover on. As we see in the Igros Kodesh, it is losum tikat tefillin shel yad al tefillin kol meshes man tefillo bizdei lishmei rapines hine keina nineg ומובן שנחתך בעתיק החלק שכנגד היוד בכדי שלאיזך היוד מן הבייס מעשים לדברי הזה הקודש that it has to touch אבל בתפילין של כפי קדושת מריחה מאדמו חלק זה שכנגד היוד בשלימוס שמזה מובן שלא היה שם עתיק בזמן במשך זמן התפילה.
Again, the bracha, b'shas the bracha, it has to be off, right?
This is I heard this a long time ago. Maybe this is the thing.
Some people say it has to be off.
Shemaiah has a.
What, even if it has a cut up?
Yeah.
Why?
Some people do you see?
B'shas the bracha.
Why?
Because the bracha goes on the shulchan also.
The Rebbe probably would have mentioned.
So what does that have to do? So what? Why should it be off?
Doing the bracha, you need to go off. That's the question.
Why
What's the connection?
Doing the bracha, you can have the cover.
Why not? If you have the cut, so it's touching. So who cares if on top of it, and if you have the sleeve on top of it, so what?
According
Does
to
it have to be
this,
touching during the bracha?
Always. No, it's always touching. It says in Zohar it should always touch.
Even in the bag? Even in the bag?
Yes.
no, but if the was in the bag wasn't touching.
In the bag wasn't.
So it's an here that in the bag it doesn't need to be touching.
Could be not. But if you have the cut, so it's
It doesn't hurt.
What's the svara of those who take it off? Because I heard it before. This
I was told that.
The Rebbe says that if they take it off because it doesn't have the cut.
No, but for the bracha.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, but he would take off the whole davening.
Yes.
You need something to be better than.
Something like that.
When you put the film on a lefty, it's not enough with just moving the retsuris around? You have to
You just turn it
You
into
can
a
turn it, but that's not the proper way, because then the screw is in the bottom and the screw is in the top.
No, he's saying to take the knot and move the knot to the other side, but then the knot is backwards.
I don't know.
I was taught that when you take the right-handed tefillin, you
Yeah, bring
sit
it
down,
down if you want.
the shoe is on the bottom, and the
Bring
yud is
it
on the
down.
side. But you don't
We should get
flip around the ritzua so that the kesher goes on the correct side.
someone there.
I don't know why. I was told
Is
that.
there an opinion that the tefillah should be exposed during the bracha?
The Rebbe's writing here.
Can you say bracha? Can you say bracha on bread when it's
Then he would have
covered?
said, I take it off the
That's not there to do, because you have to touch it.
Leave it on.
But here it's on the place.
No, if I would say
I
bracha,
don't know.
when it's covered.
I never heard like that. It has to be on.
The Rebbe's writing
So it can be separated. But here it's on the right place.
If it's an apple, if the apple is in the bag.
When you make a bracha,
Because you are not,
You're not eating the tefillin, no?
the sleeve is just, you shouldn't be open.
Yeah, exposed. Yeah.
Should be
Well, people
exposed.
use their collars to cover the.
Okay, we already put the yud and we made the kesher. After that we do two added times, so it's 3 kshorim. That's not a din, that's a minhag.
Sholim, which Sholim?
No, the
Shin, the shin.
The shin. I mean the
shin.
The turns, yes.
Why is the shin only a minhag, not a din? Because they say there is Tefillin shel Rosh has more kedusha than Tefillin shel Yad. Why? Because the Tefillin shel Rosh has a shin and a dalet, two H's of the shin dalet yud. The shel Yad has only yud. But we still want to have a shin and a dalet also in Tefillin shel Yad. So we're neg like that. That's not the din. The shin dalet yud is halach l'mitzvah Sinai. But here we want to. So how do we do shin dalet yud in the tefillin? The yud is the original one. Then we do 3 times, so it looks like a shin. Then we come to, after we do the kriches on the hand, so we do 1 in a slant and then on the hand. So it comes like a dalet afucho. So you have the shin and the dalet and the yud.
What's the finger? Is that the yud?
That's the finger is not a minhag, it's a din. And the shin is a minhag. The fact that we turning 7 times on the hand is a minhag. In Gemara it says we should do the kesher and we should have such a long ritzua. After you do the kesher, you put it on the finger and that's it.
And the makir is?
The Gemara.
Yeah. What's the makir in the Gemara?
No. The Gemara doesn't say. The Gemara says that you do it 3 times on your finger. So therefore,
So other guys.
the shin and the 7 times is a minhag. Since it's
minhag to put shin on the bicep to start.
because it also helps it should be stable.
The Rambam shin is
I don't know that, but it says
Without the finger, if you didn't think about it without the finger, not the so how come a person who's not a mekutayad?
if you can't, you can't. But it says in Gemara that's not a midhag, it's a din. I just showed you. Let's see inside. Let's see inside. Let's see inside.
It has to be because somebody has doesn't have an arm.
Look, Sifyud base. In Sifyud base it says no yagin likrich soviv aperik shal ben hayad lamapik shevo krichis veyesh likrich on the etzba. The first one on the hand it says no yagin, and on the etzba yesh, because that's a din.
Right, he doesn't
The
bring
Gemara says you need to wrap on the finger, or the Gemara says the share of the ritzua is kedei to
It
wrap
says
on the finger?
both. It says it should.
Yeah?
Are you going to say if you don't do the finger?
It says you need a shear because you have to do it.
Are you going to say
Yes.
So that's the share.
Yes.
You have someone who's very big. and you
So
can't
much
get around
it
That's what he's
is
saying, you just go.
mudgesh. We know that we are not allowed to be mafsik between shel yad and shel rosh.
That's a good question.
So there are some poskim say that you have to put on your hand and put your head, and then after you put shel rosh, do the 7. Because it shouldn't be a hefsek, it's only a minhag. Comes the Arizal and it says right, it's a minhag, but it becomes a part of the mitzvah, so it's not a hefsek. But it's a minhag.
Why the finger later?
The finger later, because that's what the Gemara says. What?
But it has to be after the shalosh?
We'll discuss it soon.
So the mucker of doing 7 before the head is from the Arizal? Is that
No, it started a little before the Arizal. It's the Rishonim it doesn't bring. You could do it once, if it's easier, but it doesn't say 6 or 7. The Mishosef says 6 or 7, the Arizal says 7.
I'm saying, but if a Misnadi is rapping 6 times that's a minhag, and then he puts on his head, it's because he believes that it's a minhag is part of the mitzvah.
There's a machlekes in Shulchan Aruch.
There's another difference.
There's a machlekes in Shulchan Aruch.
Yeah.
The Alter Rebbe brings Nagin Likrich the 7, but not the 3 on the Kibbutz.
No, that it doesn't say on that.
That minhag started later?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
When did the minhag start to wrap it away from your body?
I think the
I don't know.
is what's universal.
Like Ashkenaz.
The 3 thing is
They
only
go
for
inside.
us.
Because of the
Okay, first.
They did.
The shin.
I think I read some articles like to help keep the kesher.
It does.
Like help to keep the kesher. I was reading that
So
one.
I always thought that the hand, the finger is the yud. You're saying the finger is not the yud?
Finger, it says in Gemara.
So why are you bending?
And in this also there is a difference between the minhagim. There's a difference in the finger between the Shulchan Aruch and the Siddur, and between the Siddur and our minhag. Let's see how this Shulchan Aruch says about the finger, and how it says in Siddur, and how we do. In Shulchan Aruch and Sif Yud Beis, it says v'yesh likir b'perik hatachten shel ha'etzba ho'im tzoi beis kriches. Two here and one in the middle one. So it looks like the first you do the two and then you do in the middle one. That's what it says in Shulchan Aruch. How does it say in Siddur?
Perka tachten is that's closer to the hand?
Yes. Yes.
That's called tachten?
Yes. Because you do it like this. Then how does it say in Siddur? Ik kreeg Gimel kreeg בתחילו קריחו אחז על פרק האמצעי ואחר כך שתי קריחס על הפרק.
So it's opposite.
It's opposite. But we didn't finish. Then comes the Sefer in the...
How is it shining?
Why not?
I put first one here and then back here?
Yes.
Try to fill.
Oh, okay. We go.
Yes.
You have to put the whole thing on.
But we don't do that. How we do it? Do we do it? Says the Rebbe Rashab in Tir Sholem that בעניין הקריאה של תפילין של יד לימדני כפי קדושת הרבי מרש do the 7 kriches on the yad and he says how to do it and then the dal daarvoor אחר כך לקריך הדל גימל kriches ועל האצבע ובעניין kriches אלו איך לעשות אינני זכר בבירור אך כי מדומה לי ברור שרויסי שכוח תחילו קריחו אחס על הפרק התחתן אחר כך קריחו אחס פרק הבייס, האמצעי, ואחר כך, and that's how we do it. So we have 3 ways to do it. But what you say that you do it 3 times here, it looks like a shin. This, the Rebbe explains.
I'm not sure how it was done, but I'm sure this is how it's done.
Yeah, that's what it says. In other words, I'm not. I don't remember for sure, but I think I remember for sure. The expression of Kimiduma Limbo means I think I remember for sure.
You come to a Gvir, you want to remind him that last year he gave you $1 million, when he gave you $10. I think I remember this. Where's the Yud for the Shalosh?
We'll get to the Shalosh soon in the next page. Now about the Shin on the Yad, so he says...
The question you should ask me for is the finger a Yud B'chlal? No, it's no part.
The Shin on the hand, he says in Siddur, ויש כיכם בייספור מספר ותיתורה, בכדי שיהיה כמין שין אם רצו המדק את התפילה של יד. זה מינג in פסקי הסידר. ויש כיכם. It's a מינג. It's not the din. The din is only Gemara, it says only the finger. So that's a summary. We know that we have to do it on the left hand, and we have to do it in the top, and we have to do it then the 3, and that's a minhag, and then the 7, it's a minhag.
I get a question a lot of times, people, why the middle finger?
I tell people I'm not offended.
No, people ask all the time, like, why is there a reason why?
Let me tell you one more thing that we have about the finger. What is the shiur of Amu? A regular person, the hand, from here till the middle finger, which is the longest one. And that's the shiur of Amu. Why did they take the longest one? I don't know, but that's what the Gemara says. Take the longest, this middle one, which is the longest one.
The shin is only Chabad minhag over here.
No, it's not only. I don't know. But you see, it says it's minhag. Yes. Yeah, yes. Not everyone does it. The only din that everyone does is the finger.
I read someplace.
I think so.
I read someplace. I remember. I tell people when they have the middle finger, we have the seichel.
That's the Kabbalah. We're not discussing the Kabbalah today. That's a previous thing. That's when I would tell you. That's more or less. That's
That's the one most involved.
maybe, but it doesn't say. I can tell you one thing. This idea does not say in Gemara, not in the Poskim, not in the Shulchan Aruch. That's idea always. That I don't know if it's for. Could be tegendike drush, but it's not. We're discussing the halacha. That's more or less what we discussed about the Sheliat.
Not everyone does them in the
What? Everyone does?
Sure. Sometimes they do too.
He had a question. What was your question about the left hand? Oh, he said that some people, when they do tefillin on the left hand, they do. The lefty is they take it, and they flip this around, the knot, take the knot, move it, and you take the.
Could be.
And the problem is that now they're
it has to be. Right.
it's
right.
They're putting it.
I don't see a problem with that, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you how people are doing because I don't know. But probably that's the best way.
No, the problem is the knot is not in order. So the question.
Knot is not in order.
No, the question they have is what's better, to do it like this, or to do it like this, where the tefillin. See here, the tefillin is backwards. Here, the knot is going.
Probably the knot is better to
do. Better to
I
flip
think
the knot?
so, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I don't know from sources. I think so. That's more or less.
But that'll take even more time.
What do you do?
The last line. I was told.
By who?
When they say that the Rebbe did.
Okay, so you were told me it's true.
Like, speak to that for a second.
Someone told you it's true.
I didn't know what I was doing.
It says that when you do the two on the first one, in 1.5. It shouldn't be one covering the other one. It should be sticking out a little bit.
Or you ask somebody like me and I just made it up.
We also have
What? Okay, doesn't matter, but you still have more than one or two. Okay, that's what we spoke about the Sheliat. No, Tirushalim. 1, 2, 3. So the 3 should cover the first, should be a little bit on the side. That's more or less we summarized for the Sheliat.